Hello everyone, this is Michelle here and welcome back to my channel. So I have posted my assessment training or my assessment work before I start my training program, since I stopped for 2 years. And then one of the movement that I did was handstand push-up, which I badly did, but anyway I still did it because one of my main goals or my long-term goals in the future will be to do a handstand push-up. So I have to check the level of handstand push-up I have so that I will know where I am and then where I need to go from there. But then a friend of mine asked me, like, what if I cannot even kick up onto the wall and then do handstand push-up? So then that's when I realized, like, okay, because my reason of sharing this video is so that you will be able to follow what I am trying to do, because it's supposed to be a beginner-friendly routine, which if you have checked my training program, I actually did not do any handstand push-up anyway, and then even the pull-ups I'm doing is like a very beginner-friendly version where I place my feet on the bar. So now the first question in mind is, should you do handstand push-ups? Now that depends. If you want to work on your handstand push-up and you can kick up onto the wall, you can do the same version as mine if you can do it safely, and then you know that you have enough strength at least to not crash down onto the floor. So that's one thing that you have to be cautious. And then, so that is a yes if you want to work on that one, at least just to check your training level. But then if you cannot do, then technically you don't have to do it. So you can just do your pull-ups, the dips, and then the push-ups. At least you will know where you are. It doesn't matter if you can only do one or you cannot do at all. You just try as safe as possible, and then at least you have your own reference from where you are and then where you will be after you progress or after you do your training program. Then you will know whether your training program has worked or not. So that's one thing. But then I'm always a big, or from my case, I always find that most people that I train, they're a bit weak with the overhead push. So I always try to incorporate a little bit of an overhead pushing exercise. So what you can do, instead of a handstand push-up, if you still want to go to where I was doing, or how I did my assessment, then you can just do a pike push-up test, where you just have to do a proper pike push-up and see how many reps you can do with a pike push-up, provided that you have to know how to do it though. So today I'm just gonna teach you how to do the pike push-up properly, at least from my point of view, in terms of assessing yourself, because you can do it wrongly and then you may be doing a lot of reps but then you're not doing it properly. So I'll just give you 3 pointers of how you do your pike push-up correctly. So number one would be your elbows when you bend into, so this is how a pike push-up looks like, by the way. So I'll just go down, then I come up, right? So that's one pike push-up. So what you just have to make sure, the first thing is that when you bend your elbow here, it's pointing to the back. That's number one. The second one would be, you see here, if I put my hands in this line, I will have to make sure, or you have to make sure that your forehead will be in front of your hand. Like I would say, this is where my hand, I would go somewhere here where my fingertips were earlier. So I will go down with my head here, so it would look like this. So first, elbows pointing to the back, and then I go down in front here, then I come up. In that way it will be quite hard actually. So the further you go with your pike push-up, the harder it will be. And then the third one, which you have to just think about, or you can look at the mirror, is you just have to make sure your hips are higher than your shoulders. So you cannot do like a pike push-up where as you go down here, you will just drop your hips down. Then that eliminates that. It would almost look like an ugly version of a normal push-up. So you want your hips to be a little bit higher, pointing up, but high enough. It will be harder if you get your hips high. You don't have to straighten your knees. If you straighten your knees, if your hamstrings are tight, then you will be bothered by your hamstrings, and then you might get too tired with your quads. So don't aim on straightening your knees. Just keep your knees slightly bent, but you cannot bend it too much where your hips goes lower than or the same height as the shoulders. So I would just keep my knees slightly bent. Then I go down, go forward, come up, elbows pointing to the back, come up. That will be hard enough. And then what you can do if you're really assessing yourself, so you have a very good comparison in the future, is you just try to do a video of yourself doing it, regardless whether you're doing it properly or not, because sometimes doing the exercise with proper form comes with strength. So if you don't have the strength yet, you cannot really do a proper form. Just make sure that you don't injure yourself. So that's the main thing. There should be no pain or no major discomfort when you're doing it. Then you just do it. Even a bad form is okay. Then, as long as you're aware with your form, you take a video, then you can slowly correct your form as and when you progress or you gain a little bit of strength based on your training program. So I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. That's how you do your pike push-up, or if you don't want to do, you will still get strong with your pushing by just doing normal push-ups and dips.